I'm really excited to be here today to present my original research entitled The Effects of Social Enrichment and Physical Exercise on Spatial Learning in Rats, an investigation of sex differences. Now, just some background research. Enrichment, which is typically comprised of exploratory, sensory, or social components, has been shown to facilitate learning in rats. Additionally, physical exercise in the form of wheel running has also been shown to serve as a form of enrichment. Social enrichment and physical exercise have also been specifically shown to improve spatial learning in rats in tasks such as the radial arm maze, which I can explain a little bit more as we go on. Also, spatial learning has been shown to be impacted by sex of subject. However, very few studies have directly compared social enrichment and physical exercise to one another. Therefore, I decided to assess if physical exercise and social enrichment would independently affect spatial learning in both male and female sporadic dolly rats. However, very few studies have directly compared social enrichment and physical exercise to one another. Therefore, I decided to assess if physical exercise and social enrichment would independently affect spatial learning in both male and female sporadic dolly rats. Now, I hypothesized that rats that experienced any form of enrichment would perform the radial arm maze task faster than rats that did not experience any enrichment. I also hypothesized that rats' maze performance would be impacted by sex of subject, so male or female. Therefore, I assigned 49, not 50 rats, to one of the 3 enrichment conditions that you see above for a total of 30 days. The non-enriched control rats received standard IACUC ethical care. They were housed in a standard cage. The social enrichment rats were placed into a group home cage for about an hour daily for 30 days, and there was no more than 4 rats per cage. Now, this is the radial arm maze, as you can see above, with stars indicating food reinforcer. This is a common task used to assess spatial learning. What I did is, after the total 30 days of enrichment, I placed the rat into this radial arm maze for a total of 5 habituation sessions. This was to acclimate the rat to the maze, so the only thing that was being attended to was the food reinforcers that were placed in there for the 10 testing sessions. Now, after running my analysis, there was a significant main effect of condition, sex, and block, in that all conditions were significantly different from one another. Sex, in that females outperform males, and performance in block 1 was significantly different than performance in blocks 2 through 5. In addition, I ran a Tukey's post hocs, which revealed a block by condition and a sex by block interaction. Now, to show you this more visually, this is a graph of my condition differences. So as you can see, block is on the x-axis with time in seconds on the y-axis. In block 1, you can see that all conditions were significantly different from one another, as depicted by the stars. In block 2, you can see that non-enriched control and the social enrichment group were significantly different from one another. However, you can see by block 5, all of the rats had completed the task to the same latency. So just keep that in mind. Now, once again, this is the sex differences graph, with block being on the x-axis and time spent in seconds on the y-axis. In block 1, females and males were significantly different in that females completed the task much quicker than males, but in no other blocks was that significant. Once again, pointing out that by block 5, rats had completed the task to the same latency, which shows that although all rats performed the task to the same latency by block 5, speed of learning was facilitated by exposure to enrichment, and it was impacted by sex of subject. The research supports the results support the research. That physical exercise in the form of wheel running can also serve as a form of enrichment, which future research should continue to assess how various forms of physical exercise can impact spatial learning, whether it's voluntary or forced, wheel running, or treadmill running. In addition to this, as I mentioned in my proposal, this is kind of relevant to human behavior because physical exercise is still something new, and if we were to continue to assess just how physical exercise works in general, we could look at it through a more clinical application piece, in that recent studies have reported that aerobic exercise decreases drug-seeking behavior in humans. Now, I would just like to give thanks to the Department of Psychological Science for awarding me the Dr. McDaniel Research Scholarship. It was a real honor to be able to get something like that. I'd like to, not cry, that's what I'd like to not do. I'd like to thank my thesis committee. I'm Dr. Daniel. Dr. Young for being very supportive and listening to me every single time I wanted to pull my guiding me and everything I needed to do. I really appreciate it. And then I would like to thank Rebecca Frick and the rest of the members from the Animal Learning Lab who were very supportive and gave me a lot of kind words when I was stressing out about everything going on, because testing 7 days a week it can push you over a little bit. So